just going to share my screen now. And what you should be looking at is one of the pages in my website. It's called The Source. My name's Tom Unwin. I'm the CEO of J.K. Thomas and Associates and the lead consultant on The Source. And The Source is a website designed to support the work of educational leaders, principals, superintendents, district office people with getting their job done. And all sorts of tools, resources, events. You're just seeing a bit of it here. I'm not going to walk you through the whole website. The purpose of today is to go over some of the time management resources that we have available in The Source. And I'll show you part of our resources right now. This is the home page, and I can just hover my mouse over Access and go down to the Personal Mastery Toolkit. And I'm in there now. And then this page will explain what the Personal Mastery Toolkit is, and I can go into what I call the Personal Mastery Toolkit, and it's a set of resources that are organized around some of the skills that educational leaders need to have. The other resource that we have that's similar to this is we call it the Educational Leaders Capacity Building Resource Center, and it's got all sorts of resources organized around the standards of educational leaders. And over time, I've found that people need kind of both things if we're going to provide all sorts of resources for people that they can use. So I'm going to scroll down. And by the way, all of this is this stuff here we're talking about is available to you free. If you want to become a subscriber, you can come into the website and access all this information for free. So I'm scrolling down here to time management. That's one of the skills. And this is how we've organized our resources. So again, the Personal Mastery Toolkit is organized around specific skills that educational leaders need to have. And then what we've done is we've taken a set of gone out on the internet and found resources that are available. And I'm just going to scroll down, and the first section is books. And I'm not going to do it right now, but if you come into the Personal Mastery Toolkit and you want to find some of the resources on books, you go down to, you find the section, go down to it, and you just click on the title of the item on the list. There's 5 or 6 books here that I've identified that's out on the web. You can click on this. You can go into Amazon or Barnes & Noble. It's linked to that page, and you can actually buy the book if you wish to. And so again, we didn't go for the most stuff. People are very, very busy. And so what I tried to do is gather this stuff on time management that was the best or among the best. I'm not sure anybody could ever say that. For example, one of the books on the list here we'll be talking about a little bit more today is Stephen Covey's, I'll scroll back up here, is Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And you just click on that link, you can buy Covey's book, and that's one of the timeless resources that's available, or the timeless books written on time management. And it's also sort of a life management book as well as time management. And it's just a classic. And if you haven't had a chance to read it, I'd suggest you do. It's outstanding. We also have, because some people might want to buy the book, and again, this is that we're also looking at time. And so what I did was, here, I'm going to move this down. There we go. Now I can get my scroll bar. And we have articles. So there's a list of articles. These are all free. There's 3 of them here. And you just click on that title again. That one from the top of the list is from the Harvard Business Review. And they're articles that you can go through and read. And just in reading these, you're going to get some background and some great ideas for managing your time. And they're free. I've also included a list. I've gone out on the web or the internet and found some videos that are available that you can click on and view. There's a couple of websites that are full of resources, all on time management, and you can get them. But I want to share with you in a second a special list of resources that I've made for today. I've created something new. I'm calling it a course from the source. And this is the time management course. And the resources that I've put together here would make up a course if somebody wanted to take it. So the courses that are available out there are very time consuming and they're often expensive. So what I've done is I've gone out and got a bunch of stuff out there on the internet that's shorter, compacted, and will really give you an overview of some very, very important time management skills. And you can learn a lot of these and you can learn them quickly. For example, there's a video here on, it's a summary of the book, which I kind of prefer. Now, I'd still recommend that you buy the book and it can be referred to if you want to see something in more detail. But if you click on this link here, it will take you to that video that's a book summary. And it's 13 minutes and 18 seconds long. You have to watch the little 5-second ad. You can skip through that. And I've tried to pick out things that are going to teach you some basics in a very, very short amount of time. So 2 different book summaries here you can choose from. One's 13 minutes, one 9 minutes if you want. And another resource here is I put in one of the things that's in Covey's book that he talks about a lot is the 4-quadrant week plan. And there's a 4-minute and 42-second video on that 4-quadrant week plan. And I'll just show this one to you so you can see what the plan looks like. I'll have to go through this ad. Oh, here it is right here.
What's up, guys? Today I want to talk to you about the time management helps people organize their tasks and our time in 4 different. It might be because it just takes.
I'm going to stop it because what they've done is they've created a matrix, and it's 4 parts divided a horizontal axis and a vertical axis. And in those 4 quadrants, he puts urgent, not urgent at the top, along the top, and along the side, he puts important, not important. So each of these blocks represents things that are urgent and important. And the second block is urgent and not important. And then down below, there's not urgent and important, and not urgent and not important. And he explains what each of those things are. It's a big idea, and I'd urge you to watch through this video. It's only 4 minutes long. We don't have time to see it here, but going through that process of understanding what's important and what's not important and what's urgent and not urgent, and seeing how you allocate your time between those things. And the big part of the advice is it's a conceptual tool that we can use to prioritize our behaviors. And I'd strongly recommend that you watch this video. Again, it's only 4 minutes long, and it really explains the urgent and important matrix. And if you keep a log of your time during the day, just have a little notepad beside your desk or on your computer, and just make some notes about what you're actually doing. And at the end of the day, organize them around the urgent and important and the urgent and not important, etc., into those matrices, and see how much time you're spending. When I did this, when I was a principal, I should be doing it. I should be doing it now once a week, because sometimes you learn these things and forget them right away. But it was a very, very valuable tool, because I started seeing where I'm wasting my time and how much I spent on the not urgent and not important. And the most important things that we're doing is long range planning, and that's not urgent. And we got to find ways. That's the one that sort of gets left out all the time. We have to find ways to deal with the important but not urgent. And it's really a useful tool to use to start managing your time. And it's easy to apply, and it's 4 minutes out of your time to do this well. So I'm back to my list that I'll be sending you after this. So there's the stuff on this page right now is all about the 7 habits. There's an article on the urgent and important matrix, and I'll go to that right now so you can see what it looks like. This one's from the coaching tools. And as you go through these links, you'll be able to find other websites, and sometimes they're businesses that provide this kind of information for free. Again, I've gone out there and found it for you, but here's the matrix. You can see the urgent, non-urgent, important, not important, and they explain this, what kinds of things these are, each of them, and it gives you a very, very good idea. So if you like the video type presentation, watch the video. If not, you can scan through this article very, very quickly. It's not all that long, and it describes those 4 quadrants and then how to use them. So again, this is a very, very valuable tool that you can use. So going back to the material on the 4 habits, there's that article. And then what I've got here is 3 videos. They're all about 50 minutes or so long. And it's one of the people, one of the consultants from Franklin Covey, who walks through their planning document and talks about all the different elements of it. So you've got a 3-hour free course on time management. And by the way, the Franklin Covey planner that he's talking about, 90% of the video is talked about the principles and then how to apply it to the planner. But I can apply most of what they're talking about there to my Outlook in my computer with Microsoft. And if you have another kind of planner, most planners follow the patterns that they've established in Franklin Covey. It all came out of the 7 habits. And you've got a course there that's 3 chunks of 50 minutes. It's a little longer, but again, it gives you much more of the details. And again, if you can find the time, I would recommend that you work through something like that that gives you more of the details. That's how you're going to really pick up some valuable tools in how to plan your time and organize it. So that little course there is a highly recommended resource for you. The last thing on the list of 7 habits of highly effective people is a link to the book. If you want to buy it, I've included it on this special course from the source. One of the next, if you go out on the web and look for stuff on time management, Franklin Covey comes up a lot in the 7 habits, but the other one that comes a lot is Getting Things Done by David Allen. So again, thinking about your time, I've got 2 video summaries on the book that again, you can pick useful ideas out of. Again, David Allen is one of the gurus on time management. There's many, many of them, by the way, and I've just tried to pick out a couple that will be valuable to you. You click on those links and you've got one is an 8-minute long summary of the book, and another one is a 23-minute video. And I like that one. It's a girl who's got a very soft voice. And so if you don't mind that, you'll enjoy that video. And again, the deeper you go, the more valuable it is in providing the resources, etc., that you'd like to have. And again, I've included the link to the book if you want to purchase it. Again, these are the icons of time management. So scrolling down this article that we're going to send you, then I just went out there and found, what's some really good stuff I can see that might be shorter and available for people and that you can use to get some tips quickly. If you're here on a time management webinar, you're looking at saving time. So that's what I've tried to do in the webinar as well. So you click on those articles, and this one down here that you can see there, the article on the Principles Seminar, that's actually from a website for principals. I'm going to go to that right now. And I really like this because it's for educational leaders. And this is a website that you might want to spend some time with. And it's time management for principals. And these links, again, take you to different places on this article that you can see. And I'm just scrolling through it quickly. And there's a download here on an elementary school association's insights from new principals about time study. Okay. And then some ideas specifically aimed at principals. And this is called the Principal Seminar. So once you go to this link, you may find a lot of stuff, some of which you can purchase and some of which is just available to you like this, that you can find on time management, priorities, power meetings, how to get through meetings quickly and shorten them, and how to set priorities, other links to the Wallace Foundation, which is a great resource if you've never got in there for educational leaders. And a lot of this stuff, if you're a superintendent or a principal, applies to superintendents as well. Keeping the main thing, some information about that. And there's this piece on time blocks. And the Principal Seminar, this business, has, there's a lot of courses that you can purchase and take, and they're giving you one for free. And it's called Using Time Blocks. And you can click, and I've included it on our the course from the source list of stuff. And you can take one of those videos that gives you a bit more detail on how to use time blocks and that concept for managing your time. And so there's a webinar. I'll go back to our sheet. This is the article, but within that article, it's here, it's time blocking, it's 21 minutes long, and it's somebody who's been a principal and a superintendent and explains the concept of time blocking. And again, click on the link and you've got it. Here's a link here. There are other articles that I thought were very, very good. Here's a two-parter on, again, this is focused on school leaders. The time management stuff from Covey, by the way, really, really applies to us. You know, it's universal, and educators have been using that, that resource for a long time. So here, this is, it's from the Colorado Christian University, again, about establishing priorities. And you can see when you work through this, you can see, again, scrolling through it, you can find some very, very good ideas very, very quickly on these resources. Again, two-part series. And this one is from the Texas Elementary Principals Association, 5 management tips for principals, and you can get them very, very quickly. When I read through this, again, preparing for today's presentation, seeing some of those and reading through the articles, you know, I got a lot of ideas that I want to go back to and study and start applying in the work that I do now. Because for me, I need constant reminders about these great ideas that work to organize your time and save time and make you more effective. So again, that's what I'm trying to do here. And I'm going to talk about this just for a second, this one specific idea. It's called the Pareto Principle. And I've got 2 videos on it, one 6 minutes long, and the other one is about 55 minutes long if you've got the time to do that. But I think you can get that. I wanted to provide some information that would give you some details on how to use it. It's the long one, the 55-minute one, is more for businesses. But again, the ideas apply, and you can see how the Pareto Principle can be applied. But again, the Pareto Principle, if you're not aware of what it is, it's the idea that 80% of the problems, say, come from 20% of the actions. 20% of people create 80% of your problems, and I can tell you a little story about this. And they're very, very good at explaining what the idea is. And it enables you, when you start using the Pareto Principle, and if you come away with anything, the Pareto Principle is a wonderful thing to help you manage your time. And I can give you a story about how I used it when I was an assistant principal many, many years ago. And again, it's focusing on the 20%, not the 80. And as an assistant principal, my job in the school, if you've ever been an assistant principal, probably similar to what I experienced, one of the things that I was responsible for was student discipline, student behavior. And I would get office referrals. A lot of the office referrals were from what happened around the school on a daily basis or other sources. But some of the referrals to my office to deal with a discipline problem came from teachers in their classrooms. And my feeling always was that teachers should be handling those classroom discipline issues. And if you want, in the source, we have a wonderful program principals and superintendents can use to teach teachers basic classroom management skills. Classroom management is the center of everything. It's never gone out of, despite all the, the flavors of the day and the continual parade of different kinds of focuses that we have in education. Classroom management is a basic. And my thing was, if they've got proper classroom management skills, now I'm not talking about the very, very severe cases, the tier 3 kind of behavior issues. I understand we need school-wide systems for that. I'm talking about the tier 1 stuff. And as an assistant principals, I was getting a lot of office referrals on tier 1 stuff. They forgot their pencil. Now it's an exaggeration, but you understand what this is. And I was thinking my solution at that time was to write a new policy for the school, work with a team of teachers about getting a policy and practices that we're going to put in place around student discipline, all this to solve that problem, because it was, in my view, it wasn't working properly. And then I read about the Pareto principle. And that process, by the way, of rewriting, forming a team, getting an improvement team together and walking through all of the things and creating that new policy with input from teachers would have taken months and months and months and hours of time. I read about the Pareto principle, and before I started my committee work, I started keeping track of which teachers, and I'm only talking about classroom behavior issues, and tier 1 stuff. I started keeping track of which teachers were sending, and what were the reasons they were sending them down to my office, and trying to get a grip on what kind of a policy or new practices we can put in place. And what the Pareto principle showed me was, and I just kept data on who was sending me, which teachers were sending me these office referrals that I thought were theirs. And what I found was, it wasn't 80-20, it was about 90-10. The school had about 30 teachers at that time, and there were 3 teachers that sent me 90% of the office referrals. And I didn't know it was that bad. So what the Pareto principle teaches you is to focus on those 3 teachers. And rather than rewriting a policy or practice around discipline for the whole school, thinking it was a school-wide problem, and not studying the data and using this idea, well, I have a new solution now to this problem. And it's, there's some other ideas that I want to, include in this, but the idea for me now was to find ways to help those 3 teachers manage those kids better. And so this became not changing rules and the way 90% of the people, the teachers in the school, didn't need all that work, all that time. It works fine. So I started looking at who they were sending down and why, and it was a whole revolution in my mind about, you don't have to sometimes fix the whole wheel. You find the parts of the wheel that are squeaking and fix those. And that's what the Pareto principle can do for you. So you might think about how you might use that principle PLE, for all sorts of things in your school, and working with teachers and working with kids. And to some extent, the multi-tiered system of support, the 3 tiers for behavior, is sort of an example of that, of sorting things out and getting our priorities and using appropriate strategies for the problems that are emerging, and why they are and how they are. So that was just one example of some of the stuff that's in those videos, and they'll mention it often in some of those videos and articles that I have, as the Pareto principle, and there's much more information on that one as well. I've also included some articles that are extra resources, and one there is 12 must-see time management YouTube channels, where you've got each one of those 12 YouTube channels has a wealth of resources on them about some specific issues on time management. And looking at, I didn't look at them all, but I looked at several of them. And they've developed these webinars. And I think once you've gone through some of the other stuff that's shorter, some of the overview stuff about time management in general, it might be some, and if you want to go deeper on some of this stuff, you can go into those YouTube channels and look for some of the stuff that you want to learn more about specifically, something that resonates with you in one of those articles, in one of those articles or one of those videos. You can go onto one of these people's YouTube channels. And again, it's the gurus in the business that are creating these YouTube channels that go deeper into what they want. And I noticed that most of them are 10 minutes or less. So another fabulous resource to go deeper if you want and create your own time management course focused on the stuff that you want to learn more about. And the last one there is time management apps and tools. And some of these, by the way, I'm not getting any, there's no kickbacks for me on this. It's just, it's a time-saving thing for you. It's a service that we do in the source of providing you with resources and tools that you can use to support you in your work with kids. The last one there is about time management apps and tools. Again, some of that stuff, the 7 habits stuff and the getting things done stuff is a little old or dated. And some of it isn't connected to digital apps and tools that we have nowadays. And you've got some wonderful tools there that you can use. And it's not hard to find time managers, especially if you look at the resources that I've provided you here. You can find some that are great. I see them being, I see using Outlook or the organizational tool that you already have. If it's on paper or if it's on your computer, it will probably, I'll give you a 99% chance it'll work for any of these other systems. And the course itself about the principles of time management and how to apply them, I think they have some real value. So I'm going to stop right now. And we're going to, again, for those who came late, I'm going to be sending that document that I showed you to all you in an email following this, so you can access all that stuff. I didn't want to show you and then charge you money. If you want to join the source, if you go onto our website, you'll be able to find places you can get a subscription for free. And if you want some more of the richer, deeper resources and tools that we have there, you can become a member if you wish. But all of this stuff is free once again. So I'll be sending this stuff to you. If you have any questions before we leave, I'm open. Thoughts and ideas about what else maybe we could do to help you with time management?
I was just going to say, I really appreciated the different sections. And I appreciate that you shared videos as well as the articles, as well as the books, right? The different resources are so important. Everyone has a different niche of what they like to use. And, you know, time wise, right? People have different amounts of time. So I did appreciate that, being able to see that. So I look forward to digging in a little bit deeper to those resources.
Okay, great, Summer. Any other comments before we leave? Thanks to all of you for spending some of your valuable time here. Anything else? All right, well, it's been great being with you today. We'll follow up with this email. You can go onto our website and access all of the resources that are there in the front end around that we provide there. And I urge you to go in there and look at it and to subscribe.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Hey, I was right on time. Very good for a time management webinar. Thank you.